Hey guys,
Hello?
KTownJR here. I have B Flush on the phone for our first stupid fucking neck thing. First phone conversation with B Flush. So he's just gonna give you a brief introduction about his cannabis history, just brief this time, and then he's gonna get into my problem and the watering and pH and fertilizers and solutions and stuff. So yeah, here's B Flush. So go for it, man.
Hello. I started smoking in 1978. The pot was from Mexico and Colombia. It was sativa. I started indoor cultivation approximately, I'd say about 27 years ago. At that time, there was only two hydroponics stores in Canada, one in Vancouver, one in Montreal. I lived in Ottawa, so I went to Montreal, bought a lamp, and after that we built our own HID lamps from scratch.
Right.
Um, Everything that I will tell you, I learned by making mistakes and learning from them. Everything I tell you, I know will work because I don't tell anyone or give any information that I know that I do not know that is not confirmed. Everything I tell you, I know for a fact works because I've done it. I like to keep my solution in an airtight container so there's no evaporation. If you have it in a container with an aerator in it, then you'll have to vent the air, and by venting off the air from the air pump, the air will come out about 90 to 98% uh, uh,
Humidity.
uh, humidity. Exactly. Sorry. And so then you will lose water. So if you keep your solution in an airtight container, all you have to do is shake the container before you use it. I irrigate when the cycle is off, when the lights are off. But when the lights are on, just before the lights go off, I open the door so when the lights go off, the plants are still on a cycle of light with a small amount of light coming in. I let them cool down for approximately half an hour, and then I water them. I shake the water. If you might notice, if you shake water in a bottle with with the cap tightly on, and then open the cap, you will hear the water suck air into the water. So by shaking it 2 or 3 times violently and then opening the cap, it loads the water with oxygen. Then I water by plunging the flower pots into the solution, very, very slowly dropping it down into the solution, and you will actually feel when the flower pot, gets about halfway down into the solution, it will actually pull on your hands by the wick action of the mix. And by doing that and letting the flower pot sink to right to the top where you see water on the top of your medium, then you know that you have pushed out all the oxygen that was in the mixture, and then by lifting it up very, very slowly, you will suck in new oxygen into the mix.
Can I
You
just
can
stop you there
actually,
for a sec?
yep.
I did a video just for anybody who's new. I did a video, so if you want to watch B Flush and KTownJR.'s watering technique that he just explained, there is a video on my channel. So yeah, continue. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. So let's just talk about water for a second.
Yeah.
I prefer to use water that has either been purified by reverse osmosis, or I use distilled water, or I like to use also filtered water with like a charcoal filter.
Brita water, right?
I
Brita water is what
Brita
I'm
water,
using. Yeah.
yes. And I primarily used it, for medium, I used either slabs of rock wool, or I use a lot now a soilless mix, which is 1/3 perlite, 1/3 vermiculite, and 1/3 peat moss. When I go through my peat moss and take all the sticks and wood out of it, but I do not powder the peat moss. I keep it in small sugar cube sized chunks. I also add to that dolomite lime or limestone. It comes in pellet form the size of about a match head, or it comes in granules or powder. You cannot add too much. It's simply limestone. So per liter I add about 2 tablespoons of the dolomite lime per liter of mix.
So now that I'm not going to be making a new mix for a few weeks, what could I do to put the dolomite lime in the plants that are like right now?
Well, simply try and find dolomite lime that's in the pellet form, which is, like I said before, pellets about the size of a match head. Take a pen and push the pen in about 1 inch into your mixture, in about 8 or 10 spots around the top of the mixture. And just drop a pellet in and cover it over. And you'll have about 10 pellets near the top. And as the water reaches up to that and goes back down, when the water, doesn't matter what pH the water is when it goes in, when it comes out at the bottom, it will be neutral. It will be a proper pH of around 6.5 to 6.7. So that's what's good about dolomite lime.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Thanks.
As I said before, when you plunge your pots in, you got to do it slowly. Another thing is a thing that you might want to check for is standing water. Sometimes there's water underneath the pots, trapped, and you will get a slight amount of root rot if you continuously have standing water left in your bin. I flush my plants for 5 to 6 weeks, and I have noticed that the flower production does not slow down or in any way suffer by doing this. And then the product at the end will be gold on the inside, and the nitrogen migrates to the tiny triangular leaves on the buds. They'll be green, but the rest of the bud will be gold on the inside and brownish, light brown on the outside, with the small leaves being green or purple.
Perfect.
If you use this product, you do not cough.
No.
Long-term use of industrial grown product,
greed grown. I'm calling it
greed
greed grown.
Yeah, exactly. If it's green, I don't buy it. I don't smoke green. It has to be. I only smoke my own stuff because I can't usually find stuff that's properly flushed out.
Let's just get a little bit into like actual nutrients and like deficiencies and problems from nutrients, and then just maybe a little bit on lighting because we're at 9 minutes. So you got I don't want to go over 15 minutes, so you got still quite a bit of time. So just a bit on like actual nutrients and problems and how to fix those, and maybe just a bit about lighting.
Okay, well with nutrients, I only feed my plants for about the first 2 weeks. For the first 5 days after the seeds appear from underneath and come up, I give them about half strength grow formula.
Can you just speak up just a little bit, Dad?
Sure.
Sorry.
No problem. As I said, when the seed appears above the medium, I give it about a half strength grow formula for about the first 5 days, and then I increase the formula to full strength after that. When I get to about the 5th node, when the plant is probably usually close to between 6 and 8 or 10 inches tall, then I give it, like I said, total of about 10 days of fertilizer. The last 7 days full strength. Around the 5th or 7th node, depending on how big you want your plants to get.
Right.
I usually begin the flowering process around the 6th node, and I would then give them just straight water for about 3 days. After I have given them 10 days of grow, I give them about 3 days of just straight water, and then I add the bloom. I feed the bloom for about 10 days at full strength.
Yep.
Sometimes I will give the bloom for 7 days, then give a couple of days of just water, and then another 3 or 4 days of straight full strength bloom.
Right.
And then after that, they only get just water for about the last month and a half.
Okay.
Just water.
Okay.
And a lot of people freak out. They think that this will stunt the flower production, etc. It does not, because the plant itself contains enough fertilizer in the plant and in the medium